love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answers to the human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers, and you can transform your life. Right now on WWNN in South Florida, Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2 hours, listen and call in toll-free, 888-565-1470, 888-565-1470, and watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and share love and light.
Open up in Oh, yes, indeed. There's a light right here on VCMG 95.3 and 96.9. We're answering your questions all across the nation at 888-565-1470. And tonight, we're going to let go. We're going to let God. We're going to let our love flow out into an open stream. We're going to move forward. We're going to make the shifts and changes that we desire. We're going to answer your questions about life, love, happiness, joy. And how do we handle certain aspects of life that have us a little bit behind the eight ball, a little uncomfortable? Sometimes we have to learn to let God handle it. How many times have many of us found ourselves in a place where we wanted to push to make something happen? Do you find that when you need to get something accomplished, your impatience starts to get the better of you? I've talked to so many people over the past year about how they wanted life to change, but it couldn't change because, well, the world was in a place that wasn't letting it happen. And some people went ahead and forced it and made it happen. Needless to say, their story wasn't quite the way they had wanted it to be. But then there are those that looked at this uncomfortability, this difficulty that we all navigated, and they used it as a time to focus on visualizing what they wanted, holding this intention, creating within themselves the feeling of what it would be like, and then just letting it go and letting it happen, whether they were looking for a partner, whether they were looking for a place to live, whether they were looking for a new job or an opportunity to present itself for schooling or further advancement. And suddenly, things came together. And the one thing I've seen over time is that when we choose to let go of how something should be and allow it to unfold, it will always unfold in a way that's better than you could have envisioned it. And sometimes the universe will present to you opportunities that you would think aren't possible. But the nudge is there, the push is there, there's a reminder. It's always easy to make a choice as to what we want when we think we're in control. It's not so easy when we realize we're not in control and things are happening around us and we have to just follow the promptings of the universe. I remember when I first moved to South Florida, and I was in Royal Palm Beach, and I was really looking to see where was I going to go. I was in like a temporary spot for a moment, and then I was like, okay, where do I go from here? And in that time, I was thinking, well, I'd really love to buy a house. I'd really love to do this. I'd really love to live over here or stay in Royal Palm. I had all these ideas of what I would like. And I was at a baseball game. My son was playing baseball, and one of the other parents came up to me and was talking to me. And I said, oh, yeah, well, I'm living over here with my friend's wife, and so I'm hanging out with her, but I'm looking to find a new spot. And the person looked at me and said, well, on my house, right up the street from my house, there is a house for sale by owner. And I laughed, and I said, oh, okay, great. And he said, you really should go check it out. And I was like, yeah. Sounds like a good idea. And I just kind of shrugged it off. And I didn't really give it much thought. And then a few days later, we're at the baseball game again. And he said, oh, don't forget to check out that house. It's for sale by owner. And I didn't really know this person very well. Seemed like a lovely family. 10 days go by, almost 2 weeks. And we're at another game. And he comes up to me and said, you have to go check out that house for sale by owner. You've got to go. And I thought to myself, what does it hurt to go? Maybe I can make a deal. Mind you, in my mind, I didn't really know how all of that would play out and what the right choice would be and if that would be the best place for me to live and if it was even something that was manageable. Well, of course, I went to the house. And of course, by the next morning, everything was in movement, in motion. And then that's where I ended up living. And it offered great friendships, great connections for my son and our families, all of us, we would spend the holidays together. It was a beautiful place to end up. And I thought, wow, I almost didn't listen, because in my mind, I didn't know how I was going to make that happen. But all the while, the universe was pushing me to jump on board with this idea, because the universe, God, the angels, they already had a plan how it could all play out. And they did it so easily that it seemed like the perfect thing. And life will present us with things that we maybe don't know how we're going to accomplish, but they present themselves because there's a higher version of life that's to come for us. Sometimes we think of let go and let God as when you don't know what to do and life has got you down and you're crying and you're upset and your back's against the wall and there's a crisis and then you have to surrender. Well, yes, letting go and letting God in those times can be imperative to your experience, to your survival, to your sanity. But there are so many times in the day-to-day activities of life when things happen around us, to us, in conversation with us, that we have to allow the flow to completely unfold before we deem it possible or impossible, before we judge it. And as humans, one thing we are amazingly great at is judging a situation, judging a person, thinking we know, but you don't know. You think you know because you think on the outside of a storyline of what you think you see that you understand who a person is or what all the ins and outs and aspects of the story would be. But do you? You do not. Sometimes we just have to sit and be quiet. And the one thing that I've learned so well from Spirit is how to be quiet. Because Spirit will always show us what we need to know. Spirit will always make something that's uncomfortable work out or reveal itself or give us the guidance that we need. Spirit will always fill our cup when we are exhausted and overwhelmed. Spirit will always nurture us. We can always surrender. And that word surrender conjures up defeat in most of us, right? We think of people battling out, and then the white flag goes up, and you're like, I surrender. But surrender is this ability to just resolve, to allow things to evolve. You have to resolve, have a resolution within yourself that you are willing to not try to push, force anything to happen, that you are willing to just allow it to evolve. So I've resolved to allow things to unfold in all of the choices that I make, in all of the experiences that I have. I let them evolve, and I participate where I feel like there's an experience I choose to enjoy or understand or be a part of, and I just allow things to flow. And even if something isn't going the way that is how I would like it to, maybe there's a snafu. I talked to the credit card processing company today, and they were doing something on the back end. And, well, obviously it didn't all work out exactly the way they thought, so I have to allow it to work itself out. Now, initially, did I feel like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this? There's that feeling because we're human. But on the flip side, I have to allow it to resolve itself. I can't control it. I can't change it. It is what it is. And I have to trust that it'll work out. And they'll figure it out on their back end. Because that's not my area of specialty. I don't know anything about that. So you let things go rather than allow it to consume you. You allow the vision of what you want to have happen be the dominating feeling within you, but you don't lock yourself into how it has to be. I always tell people the how is up to God. Sometimes I tell people, listen, I see you making a move, I see you having a house, or I see a relationship coming. And I mean, can you imagine the looks I get? Oh my goodness, if there was a video camera there, we would have some of the most funniest videos. Because people look at me like I have lost my mind. And I look and I say, but that's okay. I know you don't see it, but I see it. It's in the energy. It's in the vortex, the frequency around you. It's in the journey of your soul. They're showing me the storyline. And they go, how's that going to happen, Sarah Spiritual? Like they're looking at me like, really, lady? And I said, don't worry. Just allow it to come. And it unfolds. And I have had so many people pop back in. Sometimes it's taken a few years for everything to unfold that we've discussed. But they'll come back and they'll say, listen, I thought you were nuts. I couldn't imagine how I would meet this person and how it would play out the way you said. But it was like we hit a magic moment in my life, almost like a date on the calendar. And everything started to fall in line exactly as you said it 6 years ago or 7 years ago when I sat in front of you, or last year when I thought you were crazy. Oh, so many stories. And what I love doing is teaching people to allow. And Spirit gives us the vision of what is possible so that we have hope. Because when we don't know how we're going to survive, when we don't know how something is going to happen the way we'd like, when we don't know how we're going to have a partner because we haven't dated in a while, we just don't know anybody, when we don't know how we're going to make more money because we're in a job that doesn't really reward us well, and we don't feel like we're in a position to actively find another job because maybe there's other restrictions having to do with our family or our children, and so we feel trapped, so we don't know how it's going to change. And then I say, don't lose yourself in that story. That's the story that you're not liking. Be open to the new story that I'm telling you, the new version of the experience, and just allow it to unfold. That's really letting go and letting God, letting your angels, your guides, even your loved ones kind of prompt you and whisper in your ear and say, come over here, give this a try. I really think you're going to like it. I really feel happy for you. The energy is right there. But we're human. So the next time you find yourself with your back against the wall, when you don't really know how it's possible, and there's so much coming at us as humans in the world right now. And if we look at financially some of the costs and what is being presented to us and trying to figure out how are we going to make it, that how is up to God. Now, that doesn't mean we put the covers over our head and we just lay in bed and say, all right, God, figure it out because I'm out. Well, there's days we feel that way, and every once in a while, a few moments of that sometimes makes us feel like we had our moment or our temper tantrum or a pity party or our section of depression that just kind of we just lose ourselves in for a minute, but we have to bounce out. We have to be open to the possibilities. We can't run and hide every time something comes. My spiritual teacher would tell me, do you really want to put your head in the sand on this one? I'm like, well, what do you mean? They're like, well, you want to be an ostrich? I'm like, well, I don't know, maybe. It's not looking good. My spiritual teacher would say, all right, you got two ways to look at this. You see it coming, or you got your head in the sand and you get it up the woo-woo. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I want to see it coming. Because sometimes we try to act like nothing's going wrong. Nothing's happening. We try to hide from the conflict or hide from the problem. And when we ignore a problem, it only gets worse. When we add up the numbers of how our expenses go and we act like it's going to be okay when it just the numbers don't lie, and we don't do anything to ask the universe for assistance or come up with a new way to generate revenue or be more creative in how we manage our money, then eventually those numbers are going to catch up with us, and then we will be in a problem. We will kind of feel a little stuck. And so we have to meet things head on. We cannot act like it's always going to be okay all the time and nothing's wrong when clearly something's out of alignment, out of sorts, out of balance. We have to look at things for what they are, where they are. But this is a time where the human psyche, the human personality is being challenged. We're being challenged to surrender conditioned beliefs of how we think things are supposed to be. And that doesn't mean I say we're going to adapt to some new norm that is against who we are or who we want to be. But we have to realize the world has changed. And we have to listen to our heart. We have to trust that some of these changes, however uncomfortable, will work out for the greater good of everyone eventually, even though it might feel a little uncomfortable at the moment. And we have to know that life is a series of cycles. And as a society, as mankind, we have been in this place before. We've been in this place before in so many moments in history. And somehow we have managed to create a shift and pull ourselves out and grow from it. Of course, we have to wonder, how much have we grown emotionally and spiritually? If we're finding ourselves in some of the same places, but history does repeat itself. And you cannot speak for another. You can only speak for yourself. So how can you grow from the patterns of things that have happened to you before in your life? How can you grow and not make quite the same exact mistakes? At least level up a bit. Have a better version until you find a better rhythm for your life. Till you truly learn to let go and allow the universe to prompt you. I truly know that if I hadn't made a choice back when I was in New Jersey to work for a particular company, I truly know that I most likely wouldn't have ended up in Florida, and I would not have had the opportunity to be here doing this with all of you. And it was a choice to work for a company that in my mind, I couldn't see myself working at. And a friend of mine said, go for this interview. I'm like, what am I going to do there? I don't fit in there. That's not the kind of job that would be good for me. And she said, just go. And again, it was a prompting. And it wasn't because I thought she was right. It was just, I felt this nudge, this feeling that I should do that. Give it a try. What have I got to lose? That was my attitude. And so I showed up on an interview that led me to a place that opened up so many doors for me that it gave me the flexibility to move to Florida. And then from my relocation here, gave me the opportunity to pick a whole new path for myself and not even be in that industry, not even do that job anymore, not even be associated with offshore outsourcing and the energy of call centers. It was fabulous. And the journey really wasn't so bad after all. So my friend was right. These are the ways that the universe gets your attention. They use people to suggest to you things that would be of benefit to you. They give you ideas and inspired moments that if we just stood still long enough, if we just meditated a bit, if we did our prayers every day, if we sat and were still in our guidance, something magical would happen. And the universe would help move us along on a higher pathway than some of the ones that we're just schlepping through right now. Because sometimes it gets a little mucky and yucky in the journey of life. But there's always a better version if we allow and we just let go. Well, we're going to let go of this conversation for just a moment. And we're going to take a moment to hear from our sponsors. And then when we return, we're going to go to Facebook, YouTube. We're going to answer questions. Of course, we're going to go to the phone lines at 888-565-1470. And we're going to answer your questions of life and how maybe you need to let go of something and how we can have a better version of the story and where that might take you in the future. Together, heart to heart, soul to soul, we're going to navigate this journey tonight on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. Every Wednesday, we're here. So stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back. Did you call me with your song? Because you know that you know me. Every soul has its story.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
We've got a feeling you'll want to listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, Wednesday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. for insightful, intuitive messages. Sarah Spiritual is a spiritual advisor and transformational coach who will assist you. Join Sarah Spiritual for a powerful 2 hours of life's questions and Spirit's answers. I've got a feeling you'll love Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday. Got the feeling? Just call 888-565-1470.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Because you know that you know me, I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on 95.3, 96.9. And we're answering your questions at 888-565-1470. And I'm going to go to the phone lines, and I'm going to start with Janet. Janet is in West Palm Beach. Janet, how are you tonight?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, Janet. And how can we assist you tonight?
Well, first off, everything you spoke about in your beginning was everything I'm feeling right now. So I'm just going to put that in your hands, and you can let me know what you see, because I am lost, broken, and just trying to figure out where I need to be.
Well, the interesting thing is that this is truly a time for you to explore your sense of balance, personal balance, financial balance, and even your soul balance. What makes you happy? What makes you tick? How can we feel more fulfilled but have the quality of life that we desire? And why are we attracting patterns of things that are bringing us emptiness at the end of the story? Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. And when I look at this story, I feel as if you're in the wrong spot. Do you feel as if you're in the wrong spot? Like you haven't quite landed where you belong, Dorothy? Like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz? Like we just dropped you off somewhere? And the Wicked Witch is coming for you any minute. That's what it feels like, right? And we have to bring some humor into this because you're feeling stuck and stagnant. But I feel like there's a series of choices. And I even want to go back to 2018. I feel like we are where we are because of some shifts and changes in 2018. Does that make sense to you? 2018 into the 2019 time.
Yeah. I'm in the same spot I was then. I just always looking for something new, but I don't know even where to begin.
Well, in 2018, we want to look at where did we miss a clue to make a shift and a change? You are where you are because of choices of 2018 into 2019, okay? This was a pivotal moment. Now, we cannot go back and change that, but it's good to notice what we notice, and I'll leave that with you to think on, to sit with, because there's a light bulb moment that is around that time for you. And when I look at this, it's the redesign of you. I want to say reinvention, but I like the word redesign better because there's more money coming for you. There's also a sense of partnership, a love, friendship. We're looking for partnership, Janet?
Yeah.
Okay. And that was like making you feel like you're on some wild goose chase, and that's not possible, right?
Yeah, true,
Okay.
true.
It's here. It's here in the design that I have for you that I scribbled on my paper. They talked to me about quality of life, quality of living. Was there an idea and a thought that we may move, though, Janet?
I would love to. I just don't know when.
Okay. The when will come as the how will come. But we need to have a better vision of how we want our life to be. There is a move coming. And I feel like we get out of the box and out of the routine in 2023. So this imbalance that you feel is just an uncomfortability prompting you to want to make change and not push it down and settle. I see a move in 2023, and it's going to be up to you if it's a drastic move or it's just a slightly different change of scenery. There's also recalculation in the work environment as well. We're looking at how to reposition ourselves in the financial work environment, please.
I'm working now. I like where I'm at. Unless there's room to grow with the same company. I'm not
There's
looking
growth. There's growth.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
growth, or the move brings about a new opportunity for you. You see, you're in a wonderful spot, even though you don't know where you want to go yet. You're in the spot that allows you to create something better for yourself.
Okay.
So looking at what that feels like, as opposed to how I'm going to get there. And 2023 also opens up the partnership energy. And that energy actually starts to kind of percolate in November. So things that you start to feel called to participate in, I suggest you do, because November kind of opens up this really warm energy that is around friendships and love and connections. And it's all to help, I'm going to use the word force, you to think a little more creatively, get off the weighing of the pros and cons, and just do it. Like you're a Nike commercial now, just do it.
Okay.
It'll work out, my dear.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I think about it all the time, and I just don't know where to start, but I guess it just starts with me, so.
Well, let's look at that for a moment. We don't have to think about it all the time. The universe knows we want to change. So the statement you make to the universe is, you know my desires, you know where I feel uncomfortable, and you know I need guidance. Give me something evidential that even I can catch, right? We're human. And make me feel your peace, your guidance, your strength around it so I know it's the right path to move in. You have to ask for it. You have to ask.
Okay. I mean, I feel like I do every day, but maybe, yes.
Okay.
I just have to continue.
All right. Well, let's look at that again a little more, please. We don't need to ask every day. We put the order in. We need to stop putting the emphasis on the... If we ask every day, and we all do this, right? We're like, oh, please help me. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. When we're in that mode, we're actually pinching off the energy. We're not allowing the energy to come to us.
Okay.
So that means what we're paying more attention to is the absence of what we desire, the absence of the change, the absence of the new opportunity, the absence of the clue as to where do I go next, right? So when we ask and we just hold the vision of what it's going to feel like and how you ideally would like your life to be without a preconceived notion of how you're going to get there, then the universe can send you the signals for you to follow the clues that lead you to where you desire. But anytime we notice that it's not here yet, we just kind of stop it in its tracks. And it's almost like we don't believe that it's coming.
I get
Okay?
that. I get that.
Thank you so much, Janet, for a great conversation. Sincerely appreciate it. And thank you so much for calling. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to go from West Palm Beach. I've got to go to Illinois. I've got Alyssa on the line. Alyssa, how are you?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well. Great to talk to you. And what's your question for us tonight?
About my boyfriend and I, we were doing great for about a month, and now we're back to arguing all the time. I want to know, what do you see in our future? Do we stay together? Do we fix things? Stuff like that.
Well, you're a little stubborn, you know. Yes?
Yes, I'm hard-headed.
And so is he. When is his birthday?
April 4th, 1998.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense to me. Yes. You know, he also doesn't like to be wrong. He doesn't like to admit that he's wrong. I really feel that he gets a little hot-headed himself, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And he does not like to argue. He does not like drama. He does not like when you make things a big deal. He thinks you overreact. This is what he would say to you, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So you need to take a look and see maybe that you have some things that you're worrying about a little bit too much or not allowing to just unfold, as I was just telling the other caller. Do you feel like you're harping on some things a little bit too much?
I can. Yeah, I can make things a little more dramatic than what it's supposed to.
Okay.
But I don't know how to fix things. I've been trying, but he just is not accepting it, I feel like.
Well, he's not sure that the two of you can get past the communication issues that you have because you both are very opinionated and both very strong in what you believe. And no one's ever going to ask you to not be who you are, right? It's really important that you stay true to who you are. And so you don't change for another person. But you can always see what your participation in the conflict may be. So if there's something you can adjust and learn from within yourself, it would make for a better relationship. When I look at where he is right now, what's really important to him is trying to build himself for work and career. He's focusing on something, correct, at this time?
He wants his CDL really bad.
Yes. This is his focus. This is where he needs to focus. And he really doesn't want to feel stressed. So right now I see the two of you are on a breakup or a separation at this time, yes?
No.
You're very disconnected, yes?
Yeah, we don't get along as much.
Okay. We're not really spending a lot of time together, right?
No.
Okay.
I try, though.
Okay. Stop trying. I see this as a separation. I see this as a break in the relationship. That's what he's establishing at this minute.
Do you see us getting back together then?
But you're not respecting his boundaries.
What do you mean?
So he's not moving in the direction that he wants to see you, right? Because he's a little annoyed at how things have been going, but you're still pushing to get your way back in. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Back up.
Like, what do you mean by back up? What should I not do?
Did he say, I don't want to talk about it? Let's not talk about it. You know, I told you I'm busy. I can't see you. And yet you're shooting him a text saying, when are you going to see me? When are you going to see me? When can we get together? What about Friday? What about Saturday? Right? That's what you're doing.
So I'll just stop that. I'll just stop being over attached, I guess.
Correct.
Okay. But do you see us lasting?
We have to respect each other's boundaries in order to last.
Okay.
You understand? When
So
a
maybe
person
I should
give him some space. That doesn't mean we're broken up, but
Yeah.
I see us a little separated right now. So we're on in my vision, we're on like a little separate breakup right now.
but we still live together type of thing.
Right. Give him space.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Just let him handle what he's got to handle right now. All right? All right, honey.
But
Thank you. Yes.
I can still get like nice and do things for him, right?
Of course. You're in a relationship still, right? We're just on separate ends of the spectrum at the moment.
Okay.
All right? But don't push him. When we push people who aren't ready to come forward, we push them away.
And I don't want to do that because this guy means a lot to me.
Okay. And that's what you need to let him know. And when somebody means a lot to you, you give them their space. When somebody means a lot to you and they say, you know what, I got a lot going on and our communication's a little, chaotic and I love you, but I just can't do this chaos at this moment and I need a minute, you have to respect that.
Okay, so then I'll just start giving him his space.
Okay. Perfect, honey. Keep us posted.
Thank you.
All right. Bye for now.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye. 888-565-1470. And from Illinois, I've got to go to Fort Lauderdale. I've got Sabrina on the line. Sabrina, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to connect with you. And what's your questioning for us tonight?
So your opening talks were, again, for me, everything. That's
Great.
pretty much what I'm dealing with. So can you just guide me, tell me what you see, what I can do
Absolutely.
in my future?
So, Miss Sabrina, first of all, the end of 2021 into 2022, this has been a sticky, difficult time for you, yes?
Yeah.
And this metamorphosis has been painful, right? It's like growing pains and then some. And
Yeah.
I feel like as you look at where you are, you're trying to get to a new beginning, a fresh start. But every time you try to move forward, it's almost like there's a glue that's pulling you back into the muck.
Yeah.
And you're feeling trapped, like the walls are closing in around you. Financially, we're not flowing the way we want to. And romantically, things are out of sorts as well. This is true, yes?
Finances-wise, romance, no.
Okay. What is the romance that's going on at this moment? What is the person's birthday?
10/18/80.
Okay. But they're going through some transition as well, yes? This is their year to advance something in their work? Are they pushing something for their work?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, their mind is not on the relationship as much as it is on what's the next step for work. They have a lot of pressure, a lot of something that's coming up here. This is what I see, okay? For you, when I move you into this next level, it's really time for you to reinvent yourself and create something different from what you're currently doing for work. Is that something that you're looking at?
In the process of doing, yes.
Yes. This is what you have to do. Now, there's that wobble time where it's not quite adding up for you, connecting for you. And this is the difficult part. Don't be so hard on yourself. This is going to unfold. By the time we get to February of next year, you have yourself on the path that you feel like you're on solid ground.
Okay.
So you've got to go through the motions here. They specifically take me to February.
Okay.
So we're learning something new that's a skill set or something qualifying for something? Okay.
Correct.
When does that come to a close?
Ending of October, and then if all goes well and I pass, then on to the next.
Which could take us, by the time we go take a test, pass, get our certification paperwork, that takes us into the beginning of the year, yes?
Correct.
February's looking good to me. How about you?
I'm for it. I'm so for it.
Okay. Have a new attitude, a new beginning, a fresh start, Miss Sabrina. It's all coming together for you.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. It's always great hearing from you.
Thank you.
And truly, truly enjoy your show.
Thank you so much, honey. Keep us posted. God bless you.
All right,
Bye
thank you.
for now. Bye.
You too, Sarah. Take care. Bye.
Bye. 888-565-1470. Taking your phone calls right here. And we're going to pop over to our friends on Facebook and on YouTube. And we're going to see what's going on in our conversation there. We've got a Facebook friend, and Candace Rose said, I recently found out that my daughter is autistic. Will she still have a successful, independent life? Well, first of all, let me share with you that I see her energy as being a very powerful little girl. And even though she may have autism, she's going to adapt and tune into her skill set and be able to have a productive, independent life. And it's also going to depend on how you facilitate that in the journey and getting her all the right assistance that she needs. You know, she is a strong, powerful little girl, and she can do anything. It's just a matter of she may feel and see things a little differently than maybe we think she should, but she's going to be just fine. And you are the person who always gets what she wants anyhow. So I know you're going to fight like a lioness for your daughter so that everything that will help her have a more successful life will be available to her. We send you much love and look at this as an opportunity for all of you to grow and understand that God is in charge and that we all have our own unique talents and each one of us is created to shine on this earth in our own unique way. Thank you so much, Candace Ann Rowe, for your very powerful Facebook question. We're going to go to our Facebook and YouTube again and pull another question. We've got someone on our YouTube page, and we've got Sherry M. And Sherry M says, I'm waiting a decision to see my appeal, and she wants to know what the guides see. So in this appeal, I feel as if there is a holdup because they're actually making it sound as if something wasn't completed or done. But I feel that in this appeal, when we move you into what's coming next, that there is a win for you. And in this appeal, they reverse some part of a decision. Don't see like you win the whole thing, but there's a part of the decision that gets reversed for you, Sherry M. So thank you for your YouTube question. We'll hold the prayers for the energy of success in this powerful appeal that you have. We're going to take another one from our Facebook and YouTube pages. We've got Elizabeth Diana Vincenti. And so Elizabeth Diana says, what do I see in her career? She's had a lot of repeating numbers, and she's kind of getting the presence of angel numbers. Well, where you are now in this journey is a powerful time for expansion. I see expansion of career, particularly in the area that allows you to shine in areas of communication, public standing, self-expression. I feel as if you're ready for the next level. And this next level puts you out in the public eye a bit more. And there's increase in finances that really step into play coming into the month of January of 2023. So look for a raise, a promotion of some official sort to kind of come your way in early 2023. And the angel numbers are letting you know that your angels are with you. And if you've seen the numbers 555, please know that the changes are in motion. And also 444 will let you know the angels have got your back in everything that you do. So Elizabeth Diana Vincenti, Thank you so much for your Facebook question. We thank all of you who submit your questions on Facebook and YouTube. And do know that if we don't answer your question live here on the air, I will go back in to the Facebook page and I will go back and answer questions when I have a moment. So we are appreciating all phone calls, and we ask that you share the page, share the light, and share the love. And for our friends who are calling in and listening in the car, gather your thoughts, gather your questions, because when we come back from this commercial break, we're going to answer your questions right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah on VCMG 95.3 and 96.9 FM. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's a light. There's a light, there's a light that opens doors for everyone. Oh, there's a light that touches hearts. There's a light to open everyone to love. Help me hold the answer we are looking for. Help me open up another door.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Phone lines are open at 1-888-565-1470. That's 1-888-565-1470.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
South Florida's Good Time Oldies is here. WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station. The new Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITOenlightenmentcenter.com. EDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. We've got a feeling you'll want to listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah Wednesday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. for insightful, intuitive messages. Sarah Spiritual is a spiritual advisor and transformational coach who will assist you. Join Sarah Spiritual for a powerful 2 hours of life's questions and Spirit's answers. I've got a feeling you'll love Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday. Got the feeling? Just call 888-565-1470.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the second hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions and to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in. 888-565-1470. 888-565-1470. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube. And you can share the love and light.
Yes, indeed. There's a light that opens doors for everyone, and that light is right inside of you. And we're tapping in, tuning into that light, learning to let go and let God and open up to new possibilities at 888-565-1470. That's the number to call to be a part of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, a show that's based on your questions and Spirit's answers and a journey of life. We're talking to our friends on Facebook and YouTube as well. And from our live phone calls, we've danced around. We've been to Illinois. We've been here in South Florida. I've got to go to Houston. I've got Mary on the line. Mary's in Houston, Texas. Mary, how you doing?
Hi, Sarah. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. Good to connect with you here. And what is your line of questioning for us tonight?
Well, I have my daughter living with me. And the reason I talked to you last time was you saw a lot of clutter around me.
Yes.
My garage is full of her stuff. My spare room is full of her stuff.
Yeah. So let me just tell you, Mary, the first word I wrote down on my paper when I first connected with you is something about balance, but also the word move. So is your daughter planning on moving? Is that the plan?
I don't know how she would move. She doesn't have money to move. She pays child support because her husband took her to court, and he makes more money than she does.
Okay.
And he bought her for her son.
So I'm going to pause you. If you listen to the opening of the show, you used my favorite sentence. I don't know how. Great. You don't know how. I, in my intellectual mind, don't know how. But God knows how. Sounds like there's a great injustice being played in these legal documents and legal papers. And eventually they can have their way of righting themselves. Maybe not at this moment. All right? But we clearly need to move some things around in that house anyhow because you're overwhelmed and you want your space. You feel like you're suffocating.
And I'm sick. And I'm wondering if I've seen any doctor and is he going to be able to help me?
Let's take a look at this, Mary. And also, what is this going on in your breath and breathing as well? We having some lung problems as well?
Yeah, and ammonia levels and liver problems. And
okay. The liver is spiking in some numbers recently, please?
Yes.
And that started about 6-8 months ago?
Yes.
Okay. That's how I see it. I'm not a doctor, not diagnosing, just this is what my guides are telling me. And
it's been here forever, but yeah, it's sort of spiking more.
Yes.
And making me sick.
And they're trying to balance things out. Yes, this is a time for them to health-wise balance this out. And I see a transition and a change in the health. This new doctor has a different approach, a different methodology. We're taking several medicines. Is this also true?
Oh, gosh, yes.
Yes.
I take like 9, 10.
Yes. So he's going to have to make some shifts in some of these cocktails of pills that you're taking because there's a better way. And I feel like he's going to kind of peel away everything that you've been on and kind of reposition the choice of pills and put you on a better protocol. This is what I see. I also feel that the liver is struggling, though. Yes, your liver is is struggling at this time?
Yeah.
Okay. And next year, we've got about 3-4 months that is going to take for the body to kind of readjust itself. Next year, in 2023, the health seems to even out. We have to really be careful with that liver. My guides are telling me also that there may be some things you can do holistically. Again, I'm not a doctor, can't diagnose, can't make a suggestion, but I do feel that holistically there may be some things you can do, following some information from a medical medium such as Anthony Williams. He may give you some tips of things you can do that do not go against the medical protocol that you're on now. One of the things he's very famous for recommending is celery juice to flush out the body. Don't believe that's going to cause a problem but you check with your doctor, right? This is how you do it. I can't give you medical advice. But what I will tell you, Mary, is that there is a balance, a recalibration of your physical body. And your daughter gets a better flow in her life, and I don't see her stuck there forever. Okay.
And she's not doing anything she's not supposed to be doing.
You mean behaving outside the bounds of things that would make her kind of jeopardize everything?
Yeah.
What is your daughter's birthday?
October 15th, 1984.
Your daughter tends to overindulge in things? Is that a good word?
She doesn't know how to manage her money. Okay. And I don't know what she's doing with it. You know, like...
I see her
she has
overindulging or overspending or
Yes.
things to excess, right? So I feel like she gets a little obsessed with things, goes a little over the edge. I don't know if she has an obsessive compulsive disorder or something that runs with a little mania. She gets on a high somehow and runs around and wants to do all these things, and then later on there's a low to her.
Bipolar.
Yes, I'm not a doctor, can't diagnose, but this is how I feel her energy is. So that doesn't mean she's doing anything she's not supposed to be doing. That's just who she is, and she's not managing herself as well as she could, but that's part of her journey to learn. Is she seeing a counselor, a therapist, a psychiatrist? Is she seeking this outside help, please?
She has one, but she doesn't really hear. She just medicates her.
Okay, then we need to have someone to talk to. So the medicine helps facilitate our being able to make better choices, but we have to learn to restructure our thought patterns, otherwise nothing's going to change.
And that's what I stuck on.
Yes.
I feel like she's going to be here forever.
Well, no. And that's not what you desire. But she needs to be with a therapist that will help her make healthier choices and restructure her thought processes. And this will make better flow for her, right? Everyone needs someone to talk to. So helping
we just
her.
want to help her, yeah.
Yes. Who wants to let her talk and listen to her and help her look at things through a different pair of eyes and heal her wounds. Your daughter feels like she, and this is not against parenting in you, but there's this energy with your daughter that feels like she wasn't seen or heard when she was growing up. So she's attracting people who are not showing up for her. This has been her friends, her husband,
her husband,
everybody. Okay,
he did everything. I mean, she never had to manage money, nothing.
Yeah.
And then when it hit her really hard.
Well, yes, but he also didn't show up for her emotionally. Okay.
Yeah, he was working 24/7.
Okay. So she needs people to show up for her emotionally. Yeah. And this is where a therapist will help her to show up for herself and her own emotions, Mary. So there is a great transition to come for your daughter. I feel like she'll be making some growth. She has to make this initial step. You're putting yourself in order and balance in your health. A new doctor is definitely a step in the right direction and will avoid some more serious measures later on if we don't clear this up. Because remember, if you're taking all this medicine, the liver's got to process everything anyhow. And your liver's struggling right now from how I see it. This is why I talked about your lungs and you talked about your liver. Like the filters in your body are struggling, okay? So this will be something that will resolve itself. You'll work with your doctors. All right, Mary?
And
yes.
I'm planning a vacation. Will that go okay?
Repeat the question. Will what go okay?
I'm planning on a vacation. Will this go okay?
We're planning
on. I don't want to be in the middle of the ocean and come down with something that.
Well, you're gonna have to take
down.
You're gonna have to take all the precautions that you need to. Okay. And you're planning to go in October. When are you going?
November.
Okay.
Maybe sooner, but yeah.
Well, that October window opens up the time of a vacation. So see where the world is at that point, and because your health is a little compromised, so you have to make good choices for yourself. Okay? All right, my dear. Thank you so much for calling. We want you to keep us posted. All right, bye for now. Bye.
Bye.
888-565-1470. We are continuing to answering your calls here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. And we're going to go to Wellington. From Houston, we go to Wellington. We have Maria on the line. Maria, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, Maria. Good to connect with you. And how can we assist you tonight?
First of all, every day I wake up, I'm grateful to just be able to get up and get out of bed. So I'm not in the aspect of like asking why, but I feel unbalanced, like something's keeping me back from going forward. Like I don't know.
Okay. I understand. And so you're feeling like life is not moving in the direction that you would like. It's not moving as well as you would like it to move. You're kind of feeling stuck. Is that a good word for you?
I feel held back.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's by fears or if it's by people's doubts always with me that it's, I don't, that's the part I haven't been able to figure out.
Well, even if people doubted you, if you didn't have a fear, they would have nothing to hook into. So let's go back to the age of 9. When you were 9 years old, Maria, what was shifting and changing for you then at that time?
I had just moved to the United States from Colombia.
Okay. That was a difficult time, yes? It's an adjustment period. Out of all the times, Spirit goes to age 9 because we're going to take you somewhere with that now. That was a time where had excitement, it was an adventure, but there was also a lot of fear. And you had to fit in, you had to blend in. You had to measure up. You had to fit into new school, new language. That's a lot for a little girl, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That rocked your confidence. That's why I go back to age 9. Because little Maria didn't feel good enough, smart enough, didn't feel like she could blend. She was kind of on the outside looking in. And so now she wants to do more, but that little girl inside of her isn't sure that she can because you're still holding on to that fear from age 9 and that move. I know that might sound crazy to you, but that little girl is trapped.
It doesn't.
Okay?
It doesn't. That's the thing. It doesn't because I can bring myself back to even almost to what I was wearing in a lot of situations like that.
Yes. So I want to go back with you. I want to go back to that time for you. And we're going to do a quick little exercise because I really feel it would benefit you. Are you open for that, Maria?
Absolutely.
Okay. So living here in the States, where did you move to from Colombia?
To Delray,
okay.
The Delray Boynton area.
And so if you close your eyes, can you see the house you were in or the apartment where you were staying when you first moved? Who were you living with? Who was there?
It was my aunt and her husband. Okay. And we lived there for about 6 months until my parents got on their feet.
Okay.
And we moved into our own little place.
Okay. So what place do you remember better, your own little place or your aunt's place?
Believe it or not, my aunt's place.
Okay. So we're going to go back there. So I want you to see yourself as you are now. Close your eyes. And I want you to see yourself as you are now, as an adult. We're going to go back to your aunt's place. And we're going to go back in time. And we're going to talk to your little girl. So I want you to see yourself standing in front of her place. And I want you to tell me what color is the building.
It's beige with with brown trim.
Okay. And if we go to the door and we open the door, where are we once we open the door?
We're in the foyer where to the right is the living room, the formal living room. To the left was the Florida room.
Okay. So what you and I are going to do is you're going to walk through the house and you're going to tell me when you get to your little girl, and then I'm going to give you some conversation to give to your little girl. We're going to go see her in the past. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with your eyes closed, see yourself walking through the house. And I want you to tell me when you see your little girl in the house.
Right as I come in, sitting on the couch to the right.
Okay. What is she doing?
Just sitting there and staring back at me, listening.
What's her look on her face?
Smiling, but with something behind her eyes.
Okay. What's the energy?
A little tear behind her eyes.
What's the energy in the house? Does the energy feel good or heavy? Is there fear?
Very heavy.
Very heavy.
Very heavy.
So I want you to look at her and I want you to say, Maria, say it out loud.
Maria,
I've come to keep you company.
I've come to keep you company.
And I've come to keep you safe.
And I've come to keep you safe.
I know it's not easy coming to this country.
I know it's not easy coming to this country.
And I know you don't feel as if you fit in.
And I know you don't feel like you fit in.
But you're a brave, powerful little girl.
But you're a brave, powerful little girl.
You can do anything you set your mind to.
You can do anything you set your mind to.
Don't let people make you feel sad.
Don't let people make you feel sad.
You're a brave little girl.
You're a brave little girl.
You're kind and you're pretty.
Kind and I'm pretty.
And you're so intelligent.
And you are so intelligent.
You can do anything.
You can do anything.
I'm sorry you don't feel like you fit in.
I'm sorry you don't feel like you fit in.
That's why I'm here.
That's why I'm here.
So you don't have to stay stuck here.
So you don't have to stay stuck here.
You've been stuck time.
We've been stuck here all this time.
Feeling like you weren't worthy to blend.
Feeling like you weren't worthy to blend.
But you deserve to have a good life.
But you deserve to have a good life.
And you deserve to have fun.
And you deserve to have fun.
Mom and Dad are doing the best they can.
Mom and Dad are doing the best that they can.
And yes, children can be mean sometimes.
And yes, children can be mean sometimes.
And don't let them get you down.
Don't let them get you down.
I'm here to protect you.
I'm here to protect you.
I'm starting a new life.
I'm starting a new life.
I would love if you would come with me.
I would love if you can come with me.
We're going to plan a whole new version of our career.
We're going to plan a whole new version of our career.
And we can have fun, and we don't have to ask for permission to do anything.
And we can have fun and not have to ask permission to do anything.
And I'll make sure nobody makes fun of you.
And I'll make sure nobody makes fun of you.
And when you feel afraid, you can come to me.
And when you feel afraid, you can come to me.
I'll take the time to listen.
I'll take the time to listen.
I'm sorry you feel alone.
I'm sorry you feel alone.
I would love if you came with me now. Would you like to come?
I would love if you came with me now. Would you like to come?
What did she say?
Just grab my hand.
Okay. Tell her it's okay.
It's okay.
Mom and Dad will be okay.
Mom and Dad will be okay.
You'll see them again.
You'll see them again.
But it's time for us.
It's time for us.
We know what we want to do.
We know what we want to do.
No one's opinion or words or doubts are ever going to stop us.
No one's opinion or word or doubts are ever going to stop us.
Let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
Open the door. In that foyer, take her through the door. Slam the door behind you. And see the two of you walking off into the distance, Maria hand in hand. There you go. How does that feel?
Feels good. Feels real good.
See, when people give you their words and their opinions and they make you question yourself, they don't know your heart and your soul. But when they say those things, they put those doubts. Yeah, how are you going to do that? Or what makes you think that's going to work? It just hooks right into all those little fears that you had when you were trying to adapt to the country, learn a language, make new friends, start a new life. And the difficulties you probably saw your parents go through trying as immigrants to blend here. Hasn't been easy.
No.
So moving forward, I want you to talk to your little girl. That's just a little taste of what a soul integration work is like when we take a little girl or a little boy who's trapped in the past and we bring them to the future. Because people's energy and words, they can't hurt us unless they have something to hook into. And that's usually our own insecurities and our fears.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not as stuck as you think you are, but your little girl's afraid to try. And now that we've got her, I think you'll find a little bit more power. Maria, have we ever had a session together?
Oh, we did. It's been a while.
Okay. Might be time to pop on back to West Palm Beach to the Expedito Enlightenment Center and come see me. Let's work on this and clear some energy as well externally and move you forward to what you want to create. All right, my dear. Thank you for remembering me. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Be sure to talk to your little girl, all right?
I will.
All right, bye for now. Bye.
Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we're going to come right back to the phone lines. So stay with us, everyone. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. We'll be right back.
Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. We've got a feeling you'll want to listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, Wednesday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. for insightful, intuitive messages. Sarah Spiritual is a spiritual advisor and transformational coach who will assist you. Join Sarah Spiritual for a powerful 2 hours of life's questions and Spirit's answers. I've got a feeling you'll love Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 6 to 8 p.m. Wednesday. Got the feeling? Just call 888-565-1470.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on VCMG. And we're answering questions, life's questions. And we've been doing that now for almost 13 and a half years. We're coming up on it. Can't believe time's been flying. And if you'd like to meet me in person, have a personal session, perhaps shop at my spiritual shop, you can go to the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. We're on 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard and in the Tree of Life Plaza. Beautiful space we have, magnificent items, crystals, books, herbs, oils, sprays, statues, fairies. It's a powerful place. I sure hope to see you there. You can learn more about my center at sarahspiritual.com. And of course, you can always go to ExpeditoEnlightenmentCenter.com as well. Learn more about all the items that we have and all the different sessions that I offer. I've got some friends on Facebook. There's quite a conversation. Somebody's talking about coming to Florida. There's quite the conversation going on. Someone's asking about different people that they're talking to. So let's see who we have on our Facebook page, who we have on our YouTube page. We want to be sure to get to some more questions before we go back to the phone lines that are really running the gamut over here. We're quite across the country. So let's see, who do we have on our Facebook page? Who's popping up on our YouTube page? Let's see if we can pull that up now. There we go. We've got our YouTube page. We've got Jackie Ford, and she's asking about her husband. And it looks like the relationship is a little, well, difficult. And there's a bit of a separation. And she's asking, do I see what's happening there? And if the separation for Jackie Ford is going to stay like that. So Jackie, just give me a minute. I'm going to take a look here. So for you, we really need you to step into your energy of what makes you happy and your soul's calling. It's really important that you stay true to yourself. Your husband, well, this energy around him, this is a year of, he really needed to expand to new horizons. And you know that saying, the grass isn't always greener on the other side? Well, honey, he's starting to get that message because it's not looking so pretty there on the other side. And you're asking if he's with someone else. And I really feel like there's an interest in someone. There's something else around him, but he really is going through a metamorphosis in his life. And I feel like 2 years ago, if you take yourself back to 2020, yes, we as a whole, as a world, as a collective, we went through quite a bit. But he was going through his own mini meltdown in his life, almost like a midlife crisis. And it was just building. And then in 2021, everything hit the fan. And it's been a really rough road for you since then. So he is working his way through that. And I do feel that there is hope for this relationship, but I don't feel like he's open for communication and the flow at this moment. I feel like his wall and his guard is up. So you're going to need to give this a little time. You will know in November of 2022 if this relationship is really there for you. Use this time for you to figure out, Miss Jackie Ford, what would make you happy, not just because you want him back, but what would make you happy for you? How would you like your life to be moving forward? What would you like to see change in your life? And that would be with him and without him, because things will need to change upon his return. We're going to hold that vision. We want you to have this ending that will make you joyous and happy, but it's going to take some time for this to move forward. Thank you for your YouTube question. Let's go to our Facebook and YouTube again, and let's see, we've got B Mark. And B Mark says, do I see you moving or any change? B, if it was ever time to change, this is a really good time to change, because this time is really about you kind of clearing the energy and being more creative and trying to break a routine that's starting to seem monotonous and not fulfilling as it could be. And if it feels like if we change the energy, change the environment just a bit, this is going to give you a new frequency, a new energetic flow that's going to give you a better flow in life. So I do feel the possibility of moving. I know moving can be a little challenging in these times. Sometimes people let that hold them back, but just put your heart on the idea of the possibility of a move and be open to what the universe presents to you. Remember, we're going to let go and let God. And you may see this change happening for you as we move you into the January, February of 2023. I can't believe I've got to talk about 2023, but can you believe it? It's almost here. Well, thank you, B. Mark, for your Facebook question. One more from our friends in Facebook and YouTube. Let's see, we've got a YouTube of Joyous, and Joyous says, we've got this relationship, and she says, I messed up, but he messed up. So we both messed up. And in this relationship, we're both healing. But will we be able to use these two mess-ups that ended up to a hot mess and make it a new, better beginning? And what I see here, Joyous, is that in this relationship, I really feel like you're being a little hard on yourself. And I also know that he was kind of shut off and the communication wasn't flowing the way we needed it to. And this relationship, because he doesn't always talk, he's more of a quiet one when it comes to some of his emotions and feelings. this kind of led to some miscommunications and crossed wires in energy and actions. So when I move you into this movement of what comes forward for you, I do feel that there's an opportunity to kiss and make up, but we have to change the lines of communication. That's where the relationship made its first fall, which created all the messes that fell after. So we will know more about this after we pass through the middle of September. We've got like another month of a wobble after the middle of September. That's when things will realign. Now remember, Mercury will be retrograde then, so we're going to watch our words and make sure we're heard correctly so we don't make a hot mess into a bigger hot mess. Thanks so much. Keep us posted, Joyous, for your YouTube question. We want to hear the answer to this story. Keep us posted. We're going to go back to our phone lines at 888-565-1470, and I've got to go to Atlanta, Georgia. I've got Gloria. I got Gloria on the line. Gloria, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm hearing in my head, Gloria, Gloria, I think I got your number, Gloria. I just couldn't help myself there, Gloria. So how can we help you tonight?
I am wondering about my career.
Oh, the reinvention of Gloria. Yes.
Society. I don't know where I fit in anymore at.
Well, that's because you don't like being told what to do by other people, Gloria. Lord knows you are a free thinker, you are a free flower, and you need things to kind of flow in a just, uniquely aligned way, and people don't seem to get that message. And you don't do office politics, you don't do backstabbing, so you're kind of over it, is what my guides tell me, yes?
Yes.
Yes. And was there a desire, a goal to do some self-employment, or we tried something, it didn't work, and so now we're even more, because I feel like that's where we want to go, but we have a past failure or fear that is stopping you, Gloria?
Yeah, it's probably a past fear of going back into business for myself. I've been in business for like 25 years.
Yeah.
And then like, how do I restart my candle? How I light my fire again? Because I have went out here and worked at other companies, and I just don't feel them because I think I like strict honesty.
You do? That's what I said.
Like
integrity.
People.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't like all this gossip.
You don't like this gossip. And this is the time for you to really ask your soul, who have I come to be, the meaning of life? It's not just about career. It's about, what did Gloria come to be? What's her mission? What's her purpose? What's my reason for my breath of life? And when I look at the reason for the breath of life and I see that, I see like it's to infuse others, to inspire others. It's to make a difference. Were you thinking about doing something that would be more service-based for other people, Gloria?
Yes.
Okay. Because this is where you shine, where you help other people, and you are, well, you like to be listened to. You're kind of wise beyond your years, and you know that you give good advice, but you also make people feel important. You see in them the beauty that maybe they don't see. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And so as we move you in this direction, I feel like there may be a temporary physical job. I don't mean physical labor. I mean physically going somewhere and working for someone for now while you cultivate some ideas for business. And
that's what I've been doing for the last 7 months, working for somebody else. And now I'm taking a class right now.
Okay.
I'm taking a Peabody class right now. I'm just doing something, you know?
Right. And so this is all going to help you moving forward. So you're on the path. So remember in the opening, we talked about letting go and allowing, right? So let God. We're going to allow some new things to pop up, some inspired thoughts to happen for you, within you, for you to recognize what makes you the happiest, so you go on that path. And this filler of physically working for someone else for the moments is the right place to be. When I take you through the end of the year, that's when I feel like this inspired sense comes upon you, kind of after your birthday. It's like then you give yourself permission to think even bigger.
Okay.
And I feel like we've passed through some financial struggles. We've had our time of difficulties, and now we've come through, and we're trying to make sure we never pass that way again. Is that also true?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Money's coming, Flow is coming, and my guides tell me that the angels are with you and that you've been talking to them as well, yes?
Yes.
They're with you, honey. So you're on track, Gloria.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for your call, Gloria. Yes.
Thank you, too.
All right. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.
888-565-1470. We've got to grab another commercial before we come back. And then we're coming right back to the phone lines on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, answering your questions regarding life, love, and happiness. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Here live, and we are answering your questions on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on VCMG, and we are answering all the questions that we can tonight. And I've got to go to West Palm Beach. I've got Cindy on the line. Cindy, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing great, and it's great to connect with you, Cindy. This is a time for you that is truly an important opportunity for you to focus on what makes you happy in the energy of love, relationships, community, friends. Like, what is your circle going to be moving forward? And I feel like you've passed through a lot of hardships and difficult times, and now it's time to focus on you and what makes you happy. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, that was one of the questions I wanted to ask you today.
Great. And interestingly enough, they talked to me about relationship, partnership. You're getting ready for primary partnership. That's something that you want to attract into your life. Is that also true?
Yes.
Okay. What's the questioning around this for me?
Well, I've been actually chatting with someone online, and I wanted to know if they were really who they say they are by name.
Okay. Do you have a birthday on that person, please?
All I know it's June.
Okay.
The first week of June.
Okay, so there's something that right away, when you ask the question, I get this sense, I get this feeling, kind of jot on my paper. There's something that's not ringing true with their story. Does that make sense to you?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So follow your guidance on this. Again, when we meet people online, it doesn't mean that everyone's running a game or a story, but in this case, I feel like they're holding back something. They don't want you to know all of them or their whole story. There's something that's missing in the story. So there's something that's ringing. I wrote the word. You said you were talking to them online, and the next words I wrote was not true. Okay? So there's something not true about them.
It was actually, it's two people that I was talking to.
Okay.
One of them I'm not anymore, and the other one I still am.
Okay.
So I'm not sure about this one. So what you're saying is the other one that I let go was not
true. Was not true. Absolutely. And what is the first letter that this person is giving you? What's the letter of the first name that they're giving you right now?
J.
Okay, I have a J on my paper. Okay, so that is a name that they are known by and called by, but I still think they've got a different name.
Even the second one.
Even the second one. All right, but I have the J right here on my paper, so I know what they're telling you. And you know how people have two names and they call themselves by their middle name or something, and so, and are they not in the States? They're somewhere else, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So again, I don't feel, something still doesn't feel real even with this one. Okay?
Okay.
I think we've got better pickings if we just take the shell, throw it back in the big ocean, the big sea, plenty of fish in the sea, honey, and throw it back in the sea and go, you know what, it's been nice conversation, but no, because I feel like this person with the letter J has something they want to ask you for or something they want from you, and we're not going there. Like, you got enough stuff you got to handle, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I was curious about the second one, but I think I'm just going to move on.
Yeah. Walk on by, honey. If you see him walking down the street, walk on by. Let's keep it moving, because, again, there's choices out there. And there's no sense waiting for something. If we already are getting a squirrely feeling, then throw the nut back. We got other ones. All right? Plenty of opportunities for you, Cindy. And I'm really glad that you're stepping into your soul's prompting. This is a time for you to connect, to interact with people, to feel this connection of friends, family, love. It's time for you now. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. Going back to the phone lines. And we're going to go to Lake Worth. I've got Danielle on the line. Danielle, how are you tonight?
Hi.
How are you? My goodness, a lot going on.
Oh, very much so.
It is like shake up city. Like when I'm like, how are you standing, honey? Because it's like you're getting hit from every way. And my guides make me feel like, holy crow, it is like this crazy energy of like a metamorphosis time. And you're like, am I done? Am I done? Because I need to move forward, okay? And when I look at the energy around you, I feel like you don't know which way to go with people, even with choices. because you don't know if the ground is steady underneath you. Does that make sense? Yes?
1,000.
Okay. Now, put on your big girl pants, all right? Because we're going in for the final dive. I'm like thinking of like the Rugrats or something. I don't know. We're going in, babies. You're going in for a final dive, and this is going to be your time for you to really pull yourself out of what's been a very sticky situation. Just things have been really heavy for you about the past 8-9 months. Is that true, Danielle?
Yes.
Okay. And there's a lot of miscommunication, and I also feel like something's not being seen or heard correctly or truthfully as well. Is there some mistruth around you as well? Someone thinking one thing and it's not that way?
Yeah, there's a lot of mayhem going on.
Okay. What is your line of questioning for me?
My question tonight is about my dad.
Okay.
Just want to know that he's okay and if he has any advice for me.
Okay, so on the other side, energy is connecting. You've had some connection and proof of him, please, already? And did we talk about him before, please? Because this connection to him feels familiar. Have I brought him through for you already?
No.
Okay.
But I do have a connection with him.
Yes. So there is a connection. Feels very familiar to me. He feels like he's very easy to connect with, easy to talk to. And it's like the first words I hear is like, what are they doing? What are they doing? Okay. One thing is we're supposed to be united, and I see everybody just out of sorts. There's a family matter pertaining to things around his passing and something with female energy, mother energy. Is that true, please?
Yes.
Okay. I'm picking my words carefully because we are on radio, but it's a hot mess over there.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Okay.
It's hot.
But you are the voice of reason. And one thing you hate is injustice. And is there a brother energy who's stirring up the pot here, please?
It's a cousin, so it's the same.
Okay, a male energy, right, who's got his 2 cents in, thinking he knows it's got to be a certain way. I don't trust the motivation here on this.
I agree.
Okay, so when I look at his energy, I say, no, he needs to stay over there. You're a cousin. I'm the daughter. I'm going to keep everything in line, okay? You have to be the voice of reason. And I feel like there's a disagreement over something, and something that's written on paper, and someone's trying to fight or not agree with something on this paper, please?
1,000%.
Okay. And is there a tie to, was Dad connected to someone else in the family in a business or a something, or what ties everybody together?
My family, my uncle and my dad are best friends.
Okay.
That's how my mom and my dad met, were through my uncle.
Okay.
So they're like brothers.
They're like brothers. Okay. And so everyone's got an opinion in your uncle's side of the family. I don't know why they're getting involved. Okay. So you have to stand up for what you know your dad wanted. You have to speak your father's truth. He sends you much love, and he says thank you. You did for him before he passed as well, please. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So he says thank you to you. So I want you to trust that he is holding you in his energy, in his heart, and he knows that you will make sure that the right thing is done, and you cannot change these people. You can only do what you can.
Okay.
Okay? This is a bit of a mess. It's going to take a little while, honey, to work itself out. I don't know. I'm feeling like 3 months, 4 months. So don't let it rattle you. This is just like this crashing moment. You will raise yourself like the phoenix through the ashes, and let them fight among themselves. There is paperwork. Yes, there's paperwork regarding his wishes. Yes, please.
Regarding my uncle, he did have wishes. They weren't written down, but he does have his own wishes.
Okay. So let's take care of it the way you know it needed to be taken care of, and Dad will support you in this. All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Danielle. Thank you for calling the show. We're sorry you're going through such a rough time. You are up to the task. You're your daddy's girl, and you've got this.
Oh, man.
All right?
Thank you so
You're
God's
welcome.
blessings to you.
All right. God
Thank
bless you. Bye for now. Bye for you now. Even in these situations, sometimes we do have to let go and let God handle it. Divine justice is always there for us, and we have to respect people and their wishes. And I know sometimes well-meaning people with our personalities, we think we know better. But we've got to trust the process and know that there's always a force of energy that's guiding us every step of the way. As always, it's an honor and a privilege to answer your questions every Wednesday night from 6 to 8 p.m. I'm so glad to connect with all of you, and after over 13 years of questions and answers, we know that the divine is here, and we know that God has the final say, and that each one of you is paying it forward by sharing this experience here of live radio with your friends and your family, so we all know that we're in this together, and none of us are going through it alone. I'm glad to be here, and I hope you visit me at the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Learn more about me at sarahspiritual.com. It's always a pleasure to connect. To our friends and family on Facebook and YouTube, we send you much love. Keep the questions coming. You know I'll pop back in and answer them throughout the week. Know that we care and you count. Hold the truth, hold the faith. God's got the light, and we've got you. So stay with us. We'll be back next Wednesday night, and we look forward to our conversation with the divine. Good night. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
There's a light that shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's a light. There's a light. There's a light that opens doors for everyone. Oh, there's a light that touches hearts. There's a light.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answers your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.